I don't have a background for this week's episode. I'm not gonna lie. So let's just do the infinite amount of screenshots because everybody loves that. There we go. We have 5 yet? Oh, we're 5 viewers. Oh, whoa. My bad. You know what that means, Ross? It's time we start the show. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Forest State Uncut. I am your host, Joey Blaze. We are live tonight once again from our normal location. You know where, Ross.
Yeah, I do believe I know this area pretty well.
I do believe you know this area well, too. But first, let's talk about this past weekend, beginning, Ross, with the three-way scrimmage between the Warriors, Immortals, and the Green Machine. And getting...
Well, it kind of turned into 4 teams.
Yeah. And one of the men who were at that scrimmage is a captain for the Warriors. If we can get the ring. There we go. Sean Moats himself, welcome back to the show.
What's up, dog?
Nothing much, man. Just sitting here having a nice beer, watching some basketball, even though Minnesota just strained that 3. Ugh, nasty.
Yeah.
Not good, not good.
Giving up on Maryland until another month.
Yeah.
Them in the tournament.
It's hard to have the faith. I'm not going to lie, as a longtime Terps fan. But it's not hard to have faith if you are a member of the Warriors this season. You're sideways, by the way. Just want to give you a heads up.
A little more horizontal, yeah.
Might have frozen.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
Yeah, froze.
Frozen. Ah, shit. Hold on.
Technical difficulties.
Let me call him back.
Right with you. That might be somewhere you're in, though.
I don't know. I'm going to call him back and see.
Like
Well, the worst part is I don't hear the audio. Something's going on. I think his phone might have died. Moats? This is different. Haven't had this before. One more call. There we go. Now we got you back. I don't know, man.
Cable, dude.
Oh, you're on Antietam?
Oh, Moats has Antietam. There's your answer.
They were doing maintenance stuff tonight.
Yeah, they ain't supposed to start till midnight.
Yeah, good luck with that, Bob.
Midnight is what it's midnight tonight.
That's why I rock Xfinity.
Great! I get to go home. I get to go home to no internet tonight. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi just went out, definitely. Oh, well.
Anyway.
The worst. But anyways, Moats, Sunday the Warriors took the field for the first time as a team this season when they took on the Immortals and Green Machine. What were your impressions of the Warriors in that scrimmage?
Thought it went pretty well, man. Got a lot of new pieces. That was the first time, we've actually met up in the off season, but we haven't had a practice yet. So for us just getting together for the first time, it went pretty well. I don't have any complaints. We were missing a lot of people. We were by no means even at 70% strength, I'd say, without saying too much. But pretty good showing.
Yeah, I thought the Warriors looked sharp in both games against the Immortals and the Green Machine, albeit both games were a little bit close, only 1-score differences, albeit also it was just a half of football as we played. We kept it as short as we could, but in the end, the Warriors prevailed over Green Machine by a total of what should have been 13-0, and they defeated the Immortals 12-6.
Yeah, it was they're a young group of guys, so it was a good opportunity for us to go out and see what we had, get some people in there, different positions, and just knock the rust off, man. Like I said, this was the first time I've been out there and had any contact. It's one thing to run around and get your legs loose, but once you start hitting on that line, your hands, your wrists, shoulders, you pay for it. Everybody knows that. It gets down there in the trenches.
Yeah, no, especially against a team like the Green Machine, who had been a team who have many years of county experience.
Yep, Damon Taylor's, one of my boys. I was a survivor for, I guess, 2 years. Seen a lot of familiar faces. I think they'll do all right in the KFFL. They just got to stick together. A lot of young guys, which is really cool to see because that's the next generation of 9-man. So it's cool to see the young dudes getting out there and getting their feet wet. Try to coach them up a little bit, give some advice, and it's time to start thinking about passing the torch. Even though I'm not carrying the torch, but just giving some advice and building the game.
Well, Moats, you are about to enter your 3rd decade of playing flag football, technically.
That's insane. Oh, my God. Yeah, you're right.
Moats began back in 2009. That was his rookie season in the Washington County Flag Football League. I had just finished high school when that season happened.
Yep, I played for the Renegades, and I think I'm the only one left from that team in the league. Actually, the last dude I know, Brian Thompson, he's a Warrior. I think he's up in the KFFL now for the Browns.
He had some quarterback reps on Sunday when they played the Green Machine a few weeks ago.
So, man, that seemed like forever ago. I still had hair. I was fit. I could run. Oh.
You've been on many teams, Moats, and one of those were your opponent on Sunday, the Immortals. What were your impressions of this Immortals team as they transitioned from Keystone and 7-man in Gettysburg to coming over here in 9-man flag in Washington County?
I think Ruby's got the right idea, man. He knows it starts up front with the line play. You can have all the athletes in the world, but if you don't have anybody blocking for them, it's tough shit. You're not going to move the ball. And it looks like he went out and got some bigger boys. Seemed like he was worried, talking to him online. But he got some guys out there. He's got the right idea. He had some nice. I'll give him this. He had nice play calling because he knows how our pass rush is. So blocking 4, take the dump off, make the first read, and just get rid of it. It's, I still think we have the best pass rush in the league, and we had me, Zabir, Louis, CJ. We had a lot of the core guys there, so they were seeing a pretty live rush. So, not bad at all. They just need some depth.
How do you expect them to fare in the Washington County Flag Football League?
Ooh.
You were a teammate of Zach Ruby back last spring when the Immortals had that run in Keystone where they almost got knocked off the X-Dogs. You got to remember the Immortals gave the X-Dogs a run for their money last spring, but this is not the Immortals team they had by any stretch of the imagination.
This is not the Immortals that I was on. I'll give them 2 wins this year.
2 wins.
2 wins. That's me being honest. Ruby's my boy, but a new team starting out in this league, it's tough. It took the Warriors. Ross, how many seasons did we only have 1 win, 2 wins?
So, all of them until a year ago.
Yeah, you had some rough times, Rosser.
So we've been each year we've been consistently getting better.
What up?
And joining us is a former Warrior himself from that spring team last year. People forget about this. Zach Ruby had a touchdown, I believe, in one of his games, if not 2 last season.
I think he had 2.
2 last year when he played for the Warriors in the spring. Ruby, welcome to the show. Finally glad to meet you on the show. My audience to you. I believe this is your first appearance we've had of you so far.
Yes, sir. 2 wins is a little sleep there, Sean, but we'll see what happens.
I'm excited to see what happens, Zach. What were your impressions of the Warriors you faced on Sunday?
I knew they were going to come out pretty tough. Moats is is right. They do got a stellar line. And as you saw, I did not have a stellar line. So pre-game, I told my guys, I said, hey, if you stick around with these guys, we should be pretty good for the season. We should be able to at least hang. If we can hang with these guys, we can hang with most teams in the league. And they did that, losing by a touchdown. So I'll take that in the half of football.
Yeah.
I agree with that statement. You know, your guys, it seems like a lot of them might have been their first time out there playing 9-man, but they held their own, man. They didn't back down. And they
almost had
back
an
down.
interception, could have won that game, but dropped it.
The interception you almost had on Foster that ended up right in the hands of Mack instead, who was right behind you with nobody around him. What were the odds, right?
That was rough.
That was rough. I believe you took a hit to the groin, if I believe correctly, you were saying on the sideline.
Yeah, me and my corner both went for it. And I was like, I ain't getting injured preseason, so I was more worried about the impact of the ball.
Yeah, and it was a devastating move as it gave the Warriors the go-ahead score and the one that was the difference maker in the end as they defeated the Immortals 12-6. We'll see how it plays out when you two meet in the regular season. But anyway, Sean, thank you for coming on tonight. We're glad to have you. We're going to move on to Zach now, but thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in a few weeks, Sean.
Yep. Everybody, take care. We'll see y'all later.
I remember that 2 wins.
Prove me wrong, man. Prove me wrong.
I'll try.
Later, fellas.
Later. Anyway, Zach, as we say bye to Moats. So anyhow, Zach, Immortals, you guys have had a bit of a long history. It's not as if you guys are a new team in general. I believe you told me you guys go back to 2017.
Yeah, we played indoor down. Oh, I kind of forget where it was. It was out near Harrisburg, but that was a tough season. I don't think we won a game. It was 7-man, and we realized that indoor was not our stuff. We could not do the short field or the routes. You can only run so many routes in indoor. So after that, we went to the KFFL. The X Dogs introduced it to us. So we ended up liking the 100-yard fields and the normal football stuff a little better.
Yeah, and it was in Keystone that you were one of the pioneers, I do believe. How old were you when you first found the Immortals?
19-ish, late 18 maybe.
Late 18, 19 years old. Were we even thinking about flag football, Ross, at his age?
Hey, how old is he now? 20?
How old are you now? 20, 21?
21.
21 now.
He said he makes
one of, if not perhaps the youngest owners in flag football currently.
Probably.
On the up and up is Zach Ruby, and you've had
a lot of young talent, man.
There's definitely a lot of young talent on that team, and it's something that's been the case with the Immortals for a while. You guys were semifinalists back in the fall of 18, falling to the Ship Flip Gators, I do believe.
Yep. Yeah. And that was a game. I ain't gonna make no reasons why we lost, but that was a game where half the team didn't show up. So could have been a different story. But when you only got 12 guys, you kind of gotta depend on at least 9 to show up.
Yeah, and it's always rough when you're not having the numbers to help you out. But it was the next season, the spring season, where the Immortals really took off. Where the Immortals gave the X-Dogs their first ever loss in Keystone. A 14-7 final was the score there between the two. What was the biggest key to your success last year, Zach?
Last year, it was all the same team, really. We just stepped up our recruiting game a lot, as you can tell. I had a buddy named Dakota Hershey reached out to a guy who I didn't know at the time, turned out to be Sean Moats. And he's like, yeah, I'm bringing this big guy to the league. He's going to be a lineman. I'm like, hell yeah, great, awesome. And I show up at the first game. Next thing I know, there's about 15 other people there. So I'm a little confused, but I think we ended up gelling pretty good after the first or second game. I think we were pretty unstoppable unless the X-Dogs were on the field.
And that was a loaded team. You had Sean Moats, Malcolm Gaskins. That's the D line to start with alone. Justin Fox, Tay Sosa. You were supposed to play on there?
Yeah.
Ross was going to be an Immortal? What?
Hey, I don't know. They just showed up. They showed up. I welcomed them.
Well, yeah, I don't blame you, man. It was the best team you guys had. You got revenge on the Gators. You curb stomped them on 420.
Oh, yeah.
You guys went on to beat the X-Dogs in the spring and got to the championship. I'd say it was a worthy investment.
Mm-hmm.
But afterwards, we didn't see much of the Immortals. The Immortals vanished shortly after the spring of 19. What happened, Zach?
I got a new job, and some of the guys started working on Saturdays. We were just wondering what we wanted to do. We looked back at indoor, but there was no way I was going to do that again. That's just like a waste of my money in my eyes. We lost. I'm not even joking. We lost every game our first season, like 60-7 for indoor. So that is just not an option. So we were just like, do we want to go in county? Do we not want to go in county? Let's get numbers. We've been practicing probably for like 3 months now. So we're just going to come out here and do the best we can, try to surprise some people.
And Sunday was perhaps the biggest practice of all. You went against the Warriors, Green Machine, and Pure Chaos?
I guess. I don't know.
That was Pure Chaos, just so you know.
Yeah, we went over to that practice field, and they said, do you want a scrimmage? I didn't know who they were. So, I mean, we set some up for a little bit. I didn't really keep score or track of anything because I wasn't worried about that.
You shouldn't be. You should be paying attention to what your team's on. He's got all the makings to be a good runner, man.
He really, yeah, no, I fully agree. Zach has.
I could tell when he played for us, honestly.
I told him earlier, I kind of get a younger Dustin Mitchell vibe from way back when Dustin first put Ruckus in this league.
Right.
Back in 2014-15. I could totally see it, and I'm looking forward. Stick with it. Yeah, dude, 100%. Like,
oh, yeah. I told you earlier, how long am I going to play till?
You said 40. You said you want to be able to play like Brian Swagger is, but I told you, shoot for George Nunn. He's 50 and still going.
Yeah,
that's wild. That's wild.
George Nunn did it for a long time.
George Nunn started in 1993. Zach Ruby was born what year?
1998.
Holy shit.
You realize in 1997 was like one of the first years I started coming to Washington County as a kid, right?
That's wild. That means you're just an old head at this point. You're just old.
Hey man, I remember when I was one of the young heads when I first came to this league back in 2014. Make me feel old now, Zach.
I feel old as shit right now.
But yeah, I definitely see a lot of potential in you as an owner, Zach. I think you can build something good with this Immortal squad. I'm really excited to see where you guys go in Washington County. And anybody who's a free agent out there, talk to Zach Ruby.
I'm reaching out.
Talk to Zach Ruby. He is your man to hit up right now. He's bringing in this new team to Washington County. There are a lot of hungry guys. They're ready to win. They're coming over from Keystone and from other leagues. Make them find a home. If you're looking for a home, look for this man. He'll get you a home.
Yeah, I just got a few more linemen today, so hopefully we got a scrimmage on Sunday. Got a scrimmage next week against Ruckus. So hopefully it's a different showing.
Ruckus versus the Immortals. Talk about a tale of two different teams. One of the youngest teams coming into this league and one of the oldest. What a contrast.
I like it.
Shoo. I kind of want to be there for that one.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Hyping that one up.
I don't know, man.
The hype is real.
The hype is real. It's spring season.
It's not.
I'm excited.
It's winter season. This is the winter session we're doing. Getting warmed up for spring. But anyway, Zach, your final impressions of Sunday scrimmages?
I told my guys I saw a lot of good stuff. I saw a lot of bad stuff. The Warriors, props to them. I have full respect for them. I knew they were going to come in. I expected them actually to win both. I told my guys just to hang with them, and I'll be impressed. Green Machine, don't really know any of them. It was a good game. Still, without a line, we're not going to do much. So hopefully this weekend we can make a little more noise with a little better line.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. Any idea? Do you want to spoil perhaps who you brought in? Anybody we may know here in the Washington County Flag Football League?
Nobody you know. They're all going to be my age. All people I went to high school with. So.
Oh, okay, nice. Hey, I like to see fresh talent in this league.
Oh yeah, that's I was telling you earlier. I really like my. I did not expect my defenders, my defensive backs, to be as good as they were on Sunday. And we had like 3 or 4 interceptions, and one was a pick 6. So I'm excited for get the young guys out there.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what you young guys could do. Anyway, Zach, we'll see you at the captain's meeting in a few weeks. We're excited to see how the Immortals fare this season. Check out Zach Ruby, any free agents looking right now, because this guy's got a lot of potential. He's got a lot of potential as a flag football owner. And I happen to understand you are a free agent on the circuit, correct?
What'd you say?
You are a free agent on the circuit, correct?
I may have joined the team. I may have not, but I guess we'll
Oh,
see.
okay. Ruby back on the circuit.
Someone today.
What tournament?
What tournament?
Someone today.
You going to AC?
I don't know yet. I guess we'll just have to see.
All right. We will find out where Zach Ruby's adventure takes him next.
I'm just going for the ride, man. I'm just going for the ride. Anything that makes you better, I'm in for.
Yeah, what tournament you going, Ruby?
Ross really wants to know what tournament you're doing.
I don't know.
I guess we'll see when I'm in the end zone and he's sitting there like, how the hell did he just score on us?
He's too young for the secrets. That's an old man trait. Man.
We'll find out. We'll see where Zach Ruby's adventure goes next, and we'll see you, Zach, in a few weeks.
Yep, I'll see you. Thank you.
See you, Ruby.
See ya.
See ya.
Zach Ruby joining us. I almost clicked my notifications because I was bored. So I was like, oh, yeah, there's a notification. But let's talk about another scrimmage, Ross. Let's talk about Saturday's much-hyped scrimmage between the program and the Spartans. And joining us from the Spartans is Marquise Farmer himself. Marquise, welcome to the show.
What's happening, Joey?
Nothing much, man. Just sitting here having a beer and a good time doing the show. How about yourself?
Watching a little basketball, Hawks versus whatever other bums they playing.
I got Maryland, Minnesota on. It's not looking good for my Terps, so I'm used to it now.
What's up with Ross?
Ross, what's up?
I'm over here chilling, watching basketball and music. Listening to you guys talk.
I can dig it.
So, Farmer, Saturday, you guys in the program squared off, and a lot of the impressions were both teams looked like they just were waking up for the season, to say the least.
Yeah, that's our first time going live against somebody else. We go live pretty much a lot in practice, but it's different when you go against somebody else, somebody you know they're different. They're going to bring something different than what we see at practice. Like basically we see our guys' route concepts and all that. Basically, they know what we're going to do on defense. We know what they're going to do on offense. But going against the program gave us a sense on things we need to work on.
And it seemed like the biggest struggle to me for the Spartans was the offensive side of the ball more than anything else. The connection just wasn't there on Saturday. The program managed to hold them out of the end zone on all 3 drills. It was there were parts where it seemed to show life, but every time they showed life, it was followed up by a penalty or Keenan was sacked. It would go somewhere for a second and then sputter.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely watching the scrimmage that you tape, Ross tape. We recognize that. We're definitely gonna work on that. On out. That's been one of our problems since we started as a new team.
Yeah, but it's something that can be corrected, and I look forward to seeing how the Spartans get better now that they've added Dom and Trent McCarthy to the team. You got to figure 2 big signings from ADR Is there anybody else coming, though,
Yes.
Marquise? Who else is coming to the Spartans?
Yeah, those are two good pickups right there. They're really going to contribute a lot to us. We were building something good before they came, but adding them made it a little bit stronger.
And that's something that the Spartans need help with. I feel like that adds more to the offensive line side, and that O-line struggled a good bit against program. I feel like adding those two could definitely soup it up a good deal and allow the Spartans to become one of the better units in this league.
Ain't nothing wrong with rotating their line.
Well, at the same time, you're also allowing yourself to give Keenan more time because Keenan – the biggest thing about Keenan Pooler is he loves the deep ball. If you allow him that time, he'll fling that flame right up in the air every time.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna give him time in the pocket, he's definitely gonna look for the deep threat. That's Keenan's strength is his arm. He wants to throw it. I'm saying we're working on some things. He knows what it's going to take to be successful this season. Our offensive line definitely got better. Against program, we only let up one sack though.
Yeah. The one thing that stood out to me looking at that scrimmage was your all's defense seemed like it improved a lot. They played very well overall. The program only scored twice in that, and one of those was because what had happened was the program managed to score on a pick six, and of course the first play of the drill where it was in the red zone, they scored as well. Other than that, the Spartans' defense held their own all game and didn't show any relentlessness the whole way through. Ant couldn't get anything going. The pressure got to him a few times. Spartans' edge rushers seem much improved. I feel like this unit could be underrated going into the season. What are your thoughts, Marquise?
I think no matter what you're going to say, no matter what I'm going to say, no matter what Ross is going to say, he was there. Everybody's going to look at it as the underdog. No matter the additions that we added, no matter how much work we're putting in, we're going to come in as an underdog, and we're fine with that. We're just here to compete. Last season, first season together, made it to the B bracket championship. We're not going back to B bracket this season. That's not the team goal. It's A or nothing.
I like it, and I feel like that's what the Spartans' goal has got to be. Now, my next question, Marquise, are you Saturday and Sunday or just Sundays for the Spartans this spring?
Right now, I coach AAU, so we start up at the same time as our season start, but I do every other weekend tournaments. I told them I wouldn't miss no Saturdays because I feel like county's more important than Keystone. Not taking anything away from Keystone, but I just feel like county is where it's at. And then where I've been so far. I mean, I've only been in county, but to hear about the guys talk about Keystone, it's like I guess they'll say like a step down. But any Saturday games I can make, I will be there for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No, it'd be great to see you up there and great to see you on Sundays as well. Looking at the Spartans' defense overall, what are some of the improvements you've seen?
The pressure from the defensive line. Adding another guy in the middle, like myself. Like, everybody knows we have Aubrey, so it's not like a secret. Like, he's aggressive, just like I'm aggressive. It takes away the middle. The quarterback's going to have to roll out. So our scheme is we're rushing forward. Like, we're coming.
I like that. I feel like that could really boost the Spartans' defense a lot. I feel like they have the pass rush to do it. What do you think, Ross?
I think so too. I think the defense is strong.
You think it's their strong point is the defense?
Yeah.
One of the better secondary. They're secondary. If they can get that pass rush going, they can get a lot of picks. That could really help out. You got to consider the addition of Brandon Cato as well. This is definitely a much better Spartans team than last year. It's just the real question is going to become, how do they handle it over a long season? especially in a Washington County Flag Football League that's set to be as competitive as ever. Where do the Spartans finish? What can they do? Are they an A team? A lot to be told, but we shall find out.
Oh, we're definitely going to see. The goal for the Spartans is A. Everybody knows on the team the goal is A. B is not acceptable. We've been there. We don't want to go back there. It's not for us.
Now, as for your opponent, the program, what were your impressions of them?
Well, first of all, they're going to say that they didn't bring everybody. We brought everybody. There's players on our team that wasn't there. I think their secondary can be really good. And they have a good defensive line as well. I just think the struggles are their offensive line. If they fix their issues on offensive line and give Ant some time, because he's going to buy time with his legs. Now, if he can stand there in the pocket and make throws, that's up to him. But I think their strong point will be their defense.
Yeah, I believe that 100%, especially with the addition of Sean Parker, who wasn't there on Sunday. You got to remember that there was no, or Saturday rather. He was not there. And then you see Ron Savage and how big he is, Marley Mayo, Ashton Mercer. This program is definitely.
They got some guys in the secondary.
They do, for sure. It's just going to be a question of if the program's offense could get it together 100%. Because we saw the line play, as you mentioned, struggle on Saturday. A few of the times the ball was getting to Ant, it was going to his left or his right. And because of that, he wasn't getting the proper timing down on the snaps.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Juan will help them a lot. I've seen they picked him up. I don't know if he's going to be their center or guard or whatever, but he's a good competitor. He's going to come and play every day. They can build guys around him. They can make it happen.
I believe it. I definitely believe it. Did you have a chance to catch any others the live scrimmages this weekend?
No, I didn't watch any of them. I plan on coming out to Greencastle this weekend to see what teams are talking about. Just go out there, get a look.
I'll tell you, every weekend for the last 2 to 3 weeks has been packed with teams. Everybody has been hanging out up there. The first Saturday I went up there, it was Broad Axe, Green Machine, Browns, and Killer Bees. Last week it was Warriors, Immortals, Pure Chaos, and Green Machine. This week I'm already hearing Immortals are going to be scrimmaging Killer Bees. There might be a couple county teams up there again. It's just worth coming out to see all the flag football that's going on because between Keystone and County, we are in a massive, massive boom period for flag football in this area.
Yeah, it looks like it's growing a lot. Like, I ain't been in the league long, but from what I've seen from Top Gun to now, it's a lot more competitions. Like, teams are starting to fill themselves out. People are getting the pieces they need to make their team successful.
Yeah. And on top of that, the base of recruiting is just growing and growing. You're going to have new teams this year like the Immortals and Pure Chaos who are going to come into the league, and we'll see what kind of talent they bring in. We just talked to Zach Ruby, and we heard about the team he's bringing in. He's got a lot of new guys coming in from the southern PA area that are his age, that are college kids. It's intriguing. It's an interesting time period for flag football in Washington County. We had a lot of Winchester guys who are now spread out across different teams in our league.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, who could capitalize on all of this?
I'll keep it 100 with you. I think the top teams, from who I know, I'm not going off the new guys. Like, I don't know Pure Chaos, I don't know Immortals. Green Machine, if they're even in our league.
Green Machine would be in Keystone.
Okay. Just based on the county, I think the X-Dogs, not X-Dogs, they're not in Broad X, they'll be an A-bracket team. Warriors, ourselves, and I don't know who else is returning. I know Ruckus. Is Ruckus in Railroaders both a separate team, or are they one team?
They're
There's a lot of
together.
talk about
They're
going on.
separate still, for as far as I've been told. They're still separate.
Okay.
But I can see a Raiders merger happening there.
Yeah, I heard something about it. I just, I heard that they was from the merging team, seeing who's the best guys at each position and putting the best starters out there. So if they do that, I think that'd be good for the league. Be more competitive that way.
We will see what Ruckus and the Railroaders have. We do know the Railroaders are looking for players right now. There seems to be a shortage. And I know for a fact, given the scrimmage I saw this weekend, they have definitely lost one of their key players going into next season for sure.
You talking about Ruckus?
I'm talking about Railroaders.
Oh, they didn't lose their quarterback?
They lost him, but they've also lost another guy who was very crucial.
Oh, they lost Eric, the receiver.
Yeah, Eric Jones.
Party's over there lost him.
You heard correct.
That's nice. That's a nice pickup. That boy can ball.
Thank you.
He is an excellent baller, Eric Jones is, and he'll be on Team Blunt Talk officially this spring in the Keystone Flag Football League. He fast, he good. He's ready for showtime, baby.
He's definitely a baller. Y'all got Boone for that?
For Keystone, yes, sir.
Oh yeah, Boone's gonna put him on the money.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be fun to watch.
We got a glimpse of that at the Winter Chiller back in November.
Shit, I'm mad I didn't even get to make that.
You missed out, man. It was a good time. We came up there and we just absolutely destroyed both teams we faced with no problem. 65-0.
That's sick.
We came, we saw, we conquered. But one of the highlights was Boone and Eric Jones making a connection out there. We'll see more of that in Keystone.
I got a question. Who's the Warriors quarterback? Is it Foster still?
Yeah, you got Foster.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I'm going to give my opinions on everything in a moment about the scrimmages. But for now, Marquise, we're going to cut you off. It was good talking to you. We'll see you in a few weeks when we kick off the regular season.
All right, bro. Y'all stay easy.
All right. We'll talk to you later, man.
All right, bro.
All right. I hear that rain outside. That's some vicious rain going on. But let's just talk for a few moments, Ross. Let's discuss the scrimmages we witnessed over the weekend. While I'm waiting for Aubrey is still bitter about the Misfits thing. You see that? You see his post?
No.
Said y'all wouldn't have ran through Misfits and Gusto Land like that. Hey, you never know. I mean, we were on fire that day. It's pretty heavy. That rain is heavy. But let me start out with talking about program and Spartans. Both teams did not look good to me. I mean, the Spartans' defense did look better. I will say that. But if I were to talk as a whole, it wasn't a good team game. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't something where you come out of and say, you know what, guys, we looked great. It's something where both teams could look back at and say, we got to be better than this. That's how I felt coming out of that one. Spartans' defense, like I said, it's definitely improved. Program's defense, one of the better units it has. I just feel like we'll see how it goes. Right now, if I were to say, like, neither team looked like an A-bracket team to me on Saturday. Neither team did. Both of them look like B-bracket teams. But we'll see. Well, like I said, the Spartans' defense looks improved. I will say that. It did look improved. I just feel like for now, it's going to be a case where we'll see where both teams go. As for Sunday, looking back at it, you guys may have won, Ross, but I didn't think you guys looked that great, to be honest. The one touchdown that you guys had against the Immortals was simply a fluke.
Simply a fluke.
The Ruby touchdown, where it went over Ruby's hands. No, I'll give credit. That play call, that little shovel pass to Eli Beard, that was clever. That was a good play call. That was excellent. That was one of the better plays Foster did all day. I just felt like the Warriors, their offense is going to be – your all's offense is going to be one of the things that could possibly hurt you this season.
Maybe.
It looks like it was
Nobody's ever had confidence in our offense.
It just didn't look like it was that good to me on Sunday. I don't know. I felt like Immortals held their own against you guys and could have won that easily. Mm-hmm. Green Machine, your defense dominated. Kyle Marshall had a pick. Can we talk about Kyle Marshall's interception that led to a pick six? What a play. What a play that was.
He called it, by the way.
He did. That's what I said.
He told me quietly before it happened. He said, I'm going to get – if they let y'all's kicker get a pick six during this, and guess what? 2 plays later, guess what Kyle Marshall got himself? Kyle
Marshall got a pick six. Got to give credit to Kyle. Excellent play. Good read on the offense. Looking at Green Machine, I frankly came away from that game with Green Machine, the first one with Warriors. Their defense isn't terrible. Their defense can fight. They will go up there and put up a fight. Their offense leaves a lot to be desired, though. But if they can feed a couple of their guys, who I won't say out loud who they got, but if they can feed their key guys on offense, they'll be fine. I think the Green Machine will be fine. But they got to play conservative offense. It's a very good defense. As for the Immortals, they need help in the trenches.
Yeah.
They desperately need help in the trenches.
I agree.
And if they could get the trench guys to build around their skill guys, they're going to be fine in terms of growing in this league. I don't think Ruby is expecting a championship in his first season, nor should he, because they're lacking in that position. They're lacking in the trenches. But if they get the guys in there, they have a shot. And as for Pure Chaos, from what I've been told, a lot of question marks there too. But I heard they have a quarterback, though, who could sling it. I heard a rumor that somebody might be coming from the circuit to play for them. I don't know. A lot of crazy things get around here in this league, man. A lot of crazy things. For now, though, till the next episode, I'm Joey Blaze with Ross Collins saying...
It was a good weekend of scrimmage, getting things ramped back up again. Flag football weekend.
I agree.
That way.
100%. I agree.
Knock the dust off, boys.
I'm glad the dust is off because I'm ready to roll.
Yeah.
Atlantic City, 3 weeks away. Washington County,
This is my birthday,
Keystone, 1 month away.
My birthday, by the way.
March 14th, Ross's birthday.
I accept all presents.
It's March Madness, baby. You excited?
In the form of
Are you excited?
In the form of greenery.
Same. Birthday in April. But for now, I'm Joey Blaze for Ross Collins saying have a good night. We'll see you next week.